Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype group. Each one of you is welcomed to this live streaming. Gratefulness, the fragrance of meditation in silence. Gratefulness, the meditation in the fragrance of meditation in silence. I have told you the story of Sufi mystic Junaid many times. He was the master of Al-Hilaj Mansoor, and he became famous because of Al-Hilaj Mansoor. Mansoor was killed by the orthodox traditionalists, fanatics, and because of Mansoor, Junaid's name became famous. Mansoor was Junaid's disciple. Instead of going into that story in detail, the point I want to mention is great gratitude. A similar incident comes in the life of one of the disciples of the second master guru of Sikh religion, Guru Angad Dev. He had a disciple named Roop Singh. He had been serving his master for past 20 years. One day, Guru Angad Dev asked him to ask for something. So Roop Singh said, I do not know how to ask because I have never asked for anything. Give me a day's time so I will think over it and then know what to ask. So he went and he asked his mother. Mother said, we have abject poverty, ask for land. So with the land we can get something grown. Then he asked his wife. He said, we do not have enough money and the resources at home. Ask for something. Ask for money. He had a little daughter. He asked his little daughter. So she said, your master had asked you to ask for something. Don't ask for anything small. Ask him something great. So he told her that you are intelligent. You come along with me and you ask the master on my behalf. So next day, Roop Singh came in the company in front of Guru Angad Dev, and he said, I do not know what to ask, but my daughter is intelligent enough. She will ask on my behalf. So he said, Master, in my house we eat because of poverty once a day. We eat meals once a day. If there comes a situation that we have to eat once in a week, let there be no remorse in my heart. My heart should always be filled with gratitude and love for you and the Rabb. Whatsoever is the situation, let my heart be filled with gratitude, and all the people in the house, let their heart be filled with gratitude. It is said that Guru Angad Dev got so pleased. He told her that from now onwards there will never be shortage of anything in your house. No guest, no one of the family member will sleep without eating. This is gratitude, whether you have something or not, but your heart is overflowing gratitude. And this gratitude, gratefulness, is the fragrance of silence in meditation. Is the fragrance of silence in meditation. The word that is used in Sufi terminology is known as qanaat. And for Holy Prophet it is said, Shamma bazme qanaat pe lakhon salam. 1,000 salutation goes on your state of gratefulness, your patience. Qanaat means you are satisfied with what you have. You do not hanker for anything more than what you have been bestowed upon. Shamma bazme qanaat pe lakhon salam. This is here in Urdu poetry. There are different names. Naat, salam. This is a part of salam. Salutations to Holy Prophet. Shamma bazme lakhon salam. I have told you this story, another story of a mystic named Junaid. Junaid was the master of Al-Hilaj Mansur, and because of Al-Hilaj Mansur he became very popular. Al-Hilaj Mansur was crucified by the orthodox, the traditionalists, the fanatics. Junaid used to go for a pilgrimage every year to the holy city of Kaaba. It was not far from his place, and Muslims are expected by their tradition at least once in lifetime to go to Kaaba. Otherwise they are not a complete Mohammedan. But Kaaba was so close to his place that every year he used to go with his disciples. He was the revolutionary kind of a saint. In fact, any kind other than the revolutionary are not really saint. If your words, your messages are not revolutionary, you are not a mystic. Just an actor, a pretender, a hypocrite. The people in the village where Junaid had to pass were very angry with him. A few were so angry that they would not give him anything to eat or even water to drink, and they would not allow him to stay in the village. It was Junaid's usual prayer. Muslims by tradition are supposed to pray 5 times for the day. And after each prayer, he would raise his hands in supplication and would say, I am so grateful to you. How should I express my gratefulness? You take care of me in every possible way. Your compassion is infinite. Your love knows no boundaries. Every day, after every prayer, Junaid will repeat these words. The disciples were tired because 5 times each day, and in the situation where they could see there is no care by God, they have not received any food, they have received no water, they have received no shelter from hot sun, the desert, and everything. Once it happened that for 3 days continuously they were thrown out, stoned, given no food, no water, no shelter, but Junaid continued his prayer in the same way. On the 3rd day the disciples freaked out. They said, enough is enough. Why are you saying this? We know that you are compassionate, your love is great, you take care of us in every possible manner. For 3 days we have not eaten a single thing. We are thirsty. We have not slept under shelter. We have been sleeping in the desert, shivering in the cold night. For what are you being grateful? This is the normal way that we all speak. The answer that Junaid gave to his disciples is worthy of being remembered by each one of you. Each one of you, if you can allow this to grow into you, the flowers that will blossom, their fragrance will fill your inner and outer life. He said, for these 3 days, do you think I cannot see that? Food has not been given to us. We have been thrown out. We have been stoned. We are thirsty, and for 3 days we have to remain in open desert. Don't you see that I am also aware of it? But this does not mean that we were not taken care of. Perhaps this is the way He is taking care of us. Perhaps this is the need of the time. It is very easy when life is going comfortably that we can thank God. That thankfulness means nothing when everything is going right. You have plenty and you thank. That thankfulness is meaningless. These 3 days I have been watching. Slowly and slowly, all of you have stopped thanking Him after the prayer. You failed the test. It was a beautiful test. Even if death comes to us, I will die with gratefulness, with thankfulness on my lips. He gave me life. He took it away. It was His gift. It is His life. It will be His. Who am I to interfere in His affairs? Such is the state of gratefulness. And when this comes in, a different kind of innerness is developed. This is when your heart is filled with gratefulness, there arises a dancing silence. And meditation is indeed the silence that happens naturally and spontaneously. It cannot be brought by forced silence. Then there will be no thoughts, no mind, no words, just overflowing silence out of gratefulness. All disturbance are left far behind. And now you have come to an immense, infinite silence as the fragrance of gratitude. But that silence is not a dead silence, is not the silence of the graveyard. It is a singing silence. It is throbbing, pulsating with life, pulsating with gratefulness. It has a dancing quality to it. You cannot see the dance. Certainly you can only feel it. You cannot hear the song, but its echo vibrates your whole being. Your every cell is soaked into it. It is tremendous experience of beauty, bliss, something that is inexpressible, an experience of gratefulness. It is so vast that no word can contain it. The thing that comes closer to it is music, but that too just expresses it approximately. The gratefulness, music can express it, but only approximately, not exactly. Obviously, music is also sound, however, it is very harmonious sound, but still the sound is there. When meditation happens out of gratefulness, there is no sound, it is soundlessness. Everything has stopped, there is no movement. One has come to a complete cessation, but the experience can only be described as a song or as a tremendous harmony, oneness. All these words fall short, but these are the only words that can give a little experience of it. They are like fingers pointing towards the moon. They are not the moon themselves, instead they are just fingers pointing to the moon. But I emphasize its dancing quality for a certain reason, because many meditators have become dead. They have tried to silence the mind, and if you persist, you can silence the mind by repressing it. And that will be a different kind of a silence. That will not be the silence which is overflowing and dancing. It is not the silence of the spring. Instead, it is the silence of the cemetery. Such silence is forced violently. Something has been crushed and killed. That is the reason that so many of these saints, they look so sad and serious too. They have lost laughter, love, and life, the three. Life, love, and light. They have committed the crime, and thus out of that the suicide is the answer. They are sincere people, but they are a little bit foolish as well. They missed the point. They followed it literally, but they did not understand this symbolic message. Meditation is silence. It is the fragrance of gratitude. If gratitude does not arise in you out of meditation, then meditation has been futile. If silence has not emerged out of the meditation, gratefulness is of no use. Life has been futile. Meditation is silence, not an enforced silence, instead a silence that comes out of deep understanding of gratefulness, but not repression. And then the quality is totally different. A totally different kind of a quality that arises in you. When silence comes out of understanding, it is a dancing and singing silence. Your life immediately bursts into creativity. You can say creativity is the fragrance of gratefulness. When you are grateful of the present situation or whatsoever the circumstances and situations are around you, you are in total harmony with it. Something is born out of that. Silence is born, creativity is born, an indomitable courage is born out of you. Everyone is carrying a song in his heart, which has to be sung. The song that is composed within you, you have to learn to sing it. Whatsoever it is, one cannot know it beforehand. You will know it only when you go into meditation with awareness. With awareness, when you reach to your very core, you find that there is something which has to be shared. Everyone has something deep within to share. It may be a painting, it may be a dancing, it may be cooking, it may be anything else. It may be a song, it may be a poetry, it may be a composition, whatsoever it is. It does not matter what it is, but one always discovers that there is something which one has to share. One has to create, and then one has to participate in existence through it. And unless you do, your life will be meaningless. To me, sharing what you have deep within you is the only true prayer. Indeed, true worship is when you participate in existence by creating something. God is creator. Then the only way to commune with Him is to be creator in your own way. Maybe in a small way, of course, but you have to do something creative. Unless you do that, your life will be futile. And this creativity should not be thought up by the mind, otherwise it would not be true to your innermost core. It has to be discovered out of meditation. Everyone has to discover his or her own song, and the moment you have discovered it, your life becomes a blessing. And the blessing is not only to you, then your life is not only a blessing to you, instead it becomes a blessing to others as well. And that is how meditators has to live, in a dance, in a trance, sharing whatsoever he has with no miserliness or possessiveness. Just pour yourself wholeheartedly into existence, and that is the only offering, that is the only prayer that is accepted by God. When you pour yourself wholeheartedly into the existence, that is the only offering, the only prayer accepted by God. Your entire presence then becomes a flowering or benediction. All other offerings in churches, in temples, in mosques are pseudo or meaningless. When you pour your being into the existence, there can be no greater offering than that. And that is the only offering that is accepted. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.